Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Zenton, and welcome to today's video for Legends of Runeterra. Today, we're going to be starting spoiler season for the upcoming Legends of Runeterra expansion. I believe the name is Forces from Beyond. This expansion is going to be bringing us new keywords, new champions, new cards, like a typical expansion. At the moment, we have 3 champions. I believe we're only getting 3 champions. We might get a 4th. I'm not 100% certain on that. But so far, we're going to get guaranteed, confirmed, Kaisa, Gwen, and the third one will be Evelyn. Uh, so we've gotten our first champion today and a new keyword. We have gotten Kaisa. Kaisa is a Shuriman champion, and we've also gotten a new keyword as well. We've gotten a keyword called Evolve. Of course, we're going to be going through what Evolve is really quick as well before we talk too much about the cards. So we'll have that to look at. But yeah, lots of there's also a little bit of variety too. So we got like some Demacia cards, landmarks, Freljord, etc., but it's mostly just Kaisa, her followers, which are all Shuriman cards, I believe, and a really busted spell. In my opinion, really busted, and I'll talk why I think it's really busted. But let's start by looking at the new keyword, Evolve. So, Evolve. Evolve is the new keyword, one of the new keywords for the set. I believe we might be getting 2, maybe even 3 keywords, but the first one is Evolve. Kaisa has it. A way I like to describe it is it's basically just deep, but with a different conditional for less stats. Basically, once you have evolved, your evolve units have +2/+2. Now, how do you evolve? Well, basically, you'll have to summon and have played or gained 6 unique positive keywords. The wording is, I have +2/+2 once you've given or summoned allies with 6+ other unique positive keywords this game. So we kind of knew this was going to happen. We kind of knew Kaisa was going to be related towards keywords, but how good is this? How good is Evolve? Honestly, it's again, I'm saying it's just pretty much deep. It's just cool. More stats, more keywords, or more stats for attaining a thing you want to be doing for an Evolve deck, which is getting a lot of keywords. So what are the new cards? Well, first off, we have Kaisa. Kaisa is a 5-mana 4/4 with quick attack and evolve. Okay. Not a big fan of a 4/4 stat line for 5 mana with quick attack. Reminds me of old Kindred, which was pretty much unplayable. She will be a 5 mana 6/6 though when evolve is active, and I feel like the biggest problem is going to be how fast can you evolve? And I'll be honest with you, I'm trying to think of it, and I don't really know. I've seen some people saying like, okay, Shurima, Targon, Kaisa, Pantheon gets a fairly quick evolve, and I'm like, yeah, I guess, but is that a good deck? And that's my biggest problem with Kaisa. I like Kaisa overall. I just can't think of who I want to pair Kaisa with. But what else does she do? So when she's summoned or rounds start, if you have the attack token, create a second skin in hand. To level up Kaisa, you have to have evolved. Now, what is second skin? Second skin is a 0-mana fleeting focus spell. Grant allied Kaisas everywhere. Legion Deserter likes that wording. Another ally's positive keyword. So you'll play second skin choosing a unit that you control, because it has to be an allied, so you can't choose enemy stuffs and steal their keywords, basically. And you get their keywords. So you want to probably choose something with Spell Shield, maybe like Overwhelm, maybe Lifesteal if your secondary region gives you Lifesteal. Seems like a very powerful ability here, and it helps you level up, hit Evolved super fast. But I don't know. It also doesn't seem like you can abuse it, kind of like Riven does with scouts. Like, you can kind of abuse Riven and scouts and get fragments by scouting and getting multiple attack tokens. Kaisa doesn't really the way Kaisa's worded doesn't really say anything with attack token. It's just, if you get the attack token over and over, it's just round start if you have the attack token. So that's kind of cute. Now, Kaisa's champ spell. We'll talk about this in a really quick second, but leveled up Kaisa, 5 mana 4/4. She doesn't actually gain stats when she levels up, but she has evolved, which is why I assume she's not getting stats when she levels up. Now, she's still doing the same thing she was doing before, you know, getting the whole second skin stuff. Now, though, when she attacks, deal 1 for each positive keyword I have to enemies or the enemy nexus lowest health first. So they showed it off in the trailer, and the way I assume it works is it'll ping and work up the ladder from lowest health to highest health and ping everything, and then start the ping ladder again if it's gone through every single target on your opponent's side. So let's say there are like 3 targets, like a 2/2, a 2/3, and a 20 health nexus. You'll ping the 2/2, ping the 2/3, ping the nexus, and then if you have any more hits, it'll start over again at the 2/2, and then hit the 2/3, and then hit the nexus again. That's how I assume this works. Could be wrong, could be working differently, but that's how it looked like it was working in the trailer. And the spell is called Acathian Rain, or a skill is called Acathian Rain. So it is a skill. So Tibalt seems like he would like this ability, or Tibalt seems like he would love to buff this ability, so that seems kind of cute. But Kaisa's champ spell, Supercharge. Where to start? Let's just look at it like this. Where to start with Supercharge? 3 mana focus speed, grant an ally, overwhelm, and spell shield. Already, just without looking at anything else, just in a Kaisa Evolve deck, that's already 2 + 2 triggers towards Evolve. That's pretty good. Here's the other thing. This is grant, not a give, not temporary. This is a permanent buff. I've seen some people saying, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that strong. It's only temporary for the turn. No, it's not. The way it's worded, this should be a permanent buff, sort of like a Bastion, or, I don't know, just other cards that are permanent buffs like this. So why am I scared of this card? When we've had similar cards to this, like Bastion and Friendship. Lots of things. We're going to start off with the first argument I've had. Bastion and Friendship are burst speed, Supercharge is focus speed. So you can use Bastion and Friendship reactionary while you can't with Supercharge. Okay, you are right. Bastion and Friendship can be used in a reactionary manner. In the current meta, that's not a great strategy. Name some decks that actually use Bastion or Friendship. There's like 2. One that uses Bastion, one that uses Friendship. And in all honesty, only one of them is really using the card in a reactionary manner, and that is Papercraft Dragon with Friendship. The deck that uses Bastion that's relatively popular in the meta is Taric. Taric Poppy or Taric decks in general just play maybe 1 Bastion, and they will use the Bastion proactively because of how Taric works. They'll cast Bastion on Taric, attack in with Taric, and give whatever is getting supported by Taric spell shield. But so again, it's a lot of these abilities are being used proactively. And here's the other thing. This is in Shurima. You know what's in Shurima right now and really good? Well, I was going to say Papercraft, but that's technically a Bandle City. But Papercraft Dragon decks. Renekton, Action, Nar. Those cards are nuts. They would love this card. And we can talk about other decks too, but Papercraft Dragon will gladly take this card, play it. You might say, well, they could already get overwhelmed through Absolver. Absolver, first off, is 4 mana. Sure, it gives some extra stats for a more of a explosive turn, but the trade-off is this is one less mana, and the other trade-off is you're getting Spell Shield. Now, what are other decks that would like this? Lee Sin. Lee Sin Action is a deck that would probably enjoy this. But yeah, I really am scared of this card. This card looks so good. I've seen some people say, like, a lot of people who are saying this card is busted and broken are overreacting, and they're like, it's just might. This is not just might, okay? I will say that. Might wishes it was as good as Supercharge is. I might be overreacting. I will be honest with you. I will be the first to say I'm probably overreacting this card, but I think this card is so good. I think this card should at least be 4 mana. Here's the other thing. It being 3 mana means you can use it with purely spell mana, so you don't even have to really hurt your unit curve that well if you want to consider playing this. You can go and find a way to bank 3 mana, which is not that hard, and then play a turn 4 Renekton, turn 5 Papercraft, Supercharge. Doesn't even, and then you could do it on something else too, because like Renekton technically already has Overwhelm, but this card is so good. It's so nuts how good this card is. I'm so terrified of this card. And I really feel like this card might get nerfed in the future, but again, I could see myself being wrong, but I really think Supercharge is the strongest card that has been revealed today, which kind of sucks because it's honestly a boring card, and when I think that it's the strongest card, it kind of is telling of the design and stuff of the I can't talk today. It is telling of the design of the spoiled and revealed cards. Granted, a lot of powerful cards are usually boring in all honesty, just big stats, big keywords, protection spell, whatever. But let's ignore Kaisa and let's stop thinking about Supercharge and look at the other cards. First off, in Kaisa's followers, we have Voidling. It's basically a Poro. 1 mana, 1/1. We kind of have a card like this already, the 2 mana, 2/3 Poro. But what does it actually do? 1 mana, 1/1 with Evolve. While in hand, I have a random keyword that changes each round. That like patched Poro bot in Freljord, I think that's the name of the card, pretty much does the same thing. When I'm summoned, grant me the keyword, of course. I think this card is trash. I've seen some people be like, oh, it's Kaisa's Chip. Chip can be active on turn 2. When is this going to be active and be a 3/3 for 1? Probably not until like turn 5, maybe turn 4 at the earliest, but I really don't see this thing being active and being a 3/3 by turn 3. I think I see this being a 3/3 on turn 4 at the earliest. Maybe there's a way to turbo out Evolve, but I really don't like this card. I think it's too slow to get Evolve going for this card. And more importantly, it's super heavy in the RNG. Sometimes you'll be like, okay, even if Evolve is active, you'll be like, oh, I don't like the keyword for this turn. Let me wait. I don't like Tough. I don't like Fearsome. I want like Challenger. I want Elusive. I want Lifesteal, etc., etc. And you just are not getting the keywords you want. So yeah, not a fan of the card. Think it's really weak. Void Blaster, though. I've seen a lot of people being dismissive of this guy. And I don't know why. Like, they look at the card and they don't see text. And I'm just like, they're like, okay, 4/4, Overwhelm, Evolve. Sure, it's bland, it's boring, there's nothing crazy going on. But here's the thing. You know who else is a 4 mana 4/4 with Overwhelm? Renekton. And Renekton's playable. And you might say, like, well, Renekton can grow and stuff, and he has a solid champ spell. Sure, of course, but he's a lot of the time he's just a 4 mana 4/4 with Overwhelm, in all honesty. But yeah, I can actually see this card being played in non-evolve based decks. Basically, Action, Gnar, Papercraft. That way you actually kind of get to play Renekton without having to remove Gnar. So you can be like Action, Gnar, Void Blaster, and Ruin Runner, all in your Papercraft deck, all of which enjoy getting a buff from Papercraft. You'll make this guy a 6/6 with Overwhelm and Double Strike from the Papercraft, maybe an 8/8 if Evolve is active, and then you have Supercharge on top to give it Spell Shield, Rite of Negations, maybe some Hourglasses. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm just scared of Papercraft. Here's the way I see actually Kaisa games going. I'm going to be playing a control deck. My opponent will be playing Kaisa. I'll use like 3 spells to try to kill Kaisa, and my opponent will spend 2 mana to protect her with Hourglass. And I will say, I'm saying like 3 spells because I'll use like a spell to pop a spell shield. She'll get it probably because of second skin. And then a lot of removal is usually 2 for 1 nowadays, like either 2 Mystic Shots or a Disintegrate plus a Ping. Even then, it's like, let's say I go for like a Vile Feast Vengeance. That's 8 mana, 2 cards, and then they just play Hourglass again. And I spend 8 mana and 2 cards to get countered by a 2 mana card. That feels bad as a control player, in all honesty. But yeah, so that's terrifying. But next card, I like this next card. The 8 mana Epic card, which is in general usually unplayable. This thing, I think it's actually playable. So what is it actually doing though? Void Abomination, 8 mana, 5/4. Really small stat line, but it does have Evolve. So technically it's a 7/6, like, especially by turn 8, you should be, what's it called? You should have evolved. If you haven't evolved, if you're in a deck that cares about evolve and you haven't evolved by turn 8, your deck's either bad or you've had an atrocious game. But what's a card actually do itself? When I'm summoned, grant me all positive keywords allies have had this game. So it basically sees all the keywords that your units have gotten in the game, and it just absorbs and conglomerates them all into this one unit. When it sees an ally with a new positive keyword, grant it to me. So if it's on the field and you play a keyword it doesn't have, if play a unit with a keyword it doesn't have, it'll get it. I wonder if that means it'll get Barrier or Spell Shield if it already had Barrier or Spell Shield but it was removed. I assume it will actually, but I'm not sure. I look at this card and you know what this card reminds me of? It reminds me of Arsenal to an extent. An Arsenal that doesn't need you to play landmarks, which is actually kind of a nice thing, because landmarks have kind of been falling off in terms of power level. Here's the problem. Does an Evolve deck want this? I'm not sure. Like, I'm just not sure about this. I can see, like, a Kaisa deck maybe wanting a couple of these at the top end as a finisher, but I feel like the problem with this is I feel like you could just play other win cons, but I guess it's fine for a win con if you just need a win con. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of this card, but I do think it's maybe fringe playable, like Naga Kaburos level playable, maybe a little bit better than Naga Kaburos, who sees play as like a 1, sometimes a 2 in Illaoi decks, but those aren't even doing too well right now outside of Bard Illaoi. Anyway, and the next card. These cards are a lot of these followers of Kaisa, some of these followers of Kaisa are very simple because they're just meant to help turbo out Evolve and are just here for their keywords. Like this one, Belvethy Elder. 2 mana, 3/1, Spell Shield, Evolve. That's it. Helps turbo, helps you get Evolve faster. I like her. I think she's a solid filler card for your Evolve deck, your Kaisa deck. She has Spell Shield, which Kaisa does eventually want to get Spell Shield, so you can second skin copying the Spell Shield from Belvethy Elder. She's got a solid stat line, able to block Fearsome's nice. If she somehow is still alive in the late game, she'll be a 5/3 with Spell Shield, which is pretty sweet. Overall, just a solid card here, solid 2-drop for Kaisa decks. Not much to talk about there, but I like the card. If you just need a way to get Spell Shield for Kaisa, especially early, then Belvethy Elder is the way to go. And now a couple more cards for Kaisa, and then we can start talking about the variety cards. Hive Herald. Six mana 3/3, evolve, so it can be a 5/5. And by turn 6, I feel like that's about when you should be evolving. Play, grant a unit and me each other's positive keywords. Now here's the quick question. Does it actually give a unit evolve? I don't know if it will count evolve as a positive keyword to give. Will it be like a deep thing where deep is just not in like the positive keyword pool? Or does this basically say if your opponent, if you're giving evolve to whatever you're choosing? You can also choose opponent's units too based on how this is worded. And actually that's like, I'd say this card is bad, and the best part about it is you can technically choose opponent's stuffs, like opponent's units, and steal their keywords. You're not taking their keywords, you're not like exchanging keywords, you're just copying keywords, if that makes sense. So it's like, oh, there's lifesteal on that unit, I'd like lifesteal, I like challenger, etc, etc. Now, if it does give evolve, though, that's kind of cute. You can give evolve to allied stuff that doesn't have evolve. I'm pretty sure this is targeting, so maybe it activates Fated. I'm not sure about that, but if it does activate Fated, that's pretty cool for Pantheon, I guess. And copying Pantheon's keywords is pretty good. You get like Fated, Overwhelm, maybe more keywords depending on if Pantheon's leveled. So I don't know, it feels a little clunky. Like that's the problem with this card, it just feels clunky. It feels like the Camphor, I think that's the name of that 6 mana 5/4. I honestly can't even remember that card from the Pantheon followers. It feels like that. It just feels a little too clunky, a little too slow for the current meta. Like, the game is just so fast right now. So I'm not a big fan of this card, but maybe. Now this card, I'm not sure about this card. Voidseeker. 1 mana, slow speed spell. Deal 1 to a follower. If you've evolved, deal 3 instead. 3 damage for 1 mana is insanely good. And I feel like if you can get evolved by turn 4, this is pretty good. Sure, slow speed hurts. Whatever. But it's still 1 mana deal 3. That's usually something you have to pay 3 mana at least for. Here's what I think holds this card back, besides the whole you have to evolve first. Follower only. You cannot hit champs with this. Which, you know, Riot does like their game to be focused around champions, but this kind of removal that can't really do much to champions just feels bad. And I just don't see this card seeing that much play. Like, sure, Shurima is a little weak on the removal side of things, but the way Shurima tries to shore that up is, like, they're weak on the damage spell-based removal side of things, but they try to shore that up by using things like Merciless Hunter, vulnerable givers, basically. Bakai, Sand Spinner, Merciless Hunter, stuff like that. And it does a decent job. Or just, you know, ignoring opponents' things and not trying to interact with their board at all, and trying to do some kind of solitary strategy while protecting their own stuff, you know, like Viego Shurima, Papercraft Dragons, or if they're not trying to do that, they'll use their secondary region for removal, so like Demacia, using concerted strikes and single combats from Demacia, etc., etc. Maybe Noxus for Noxus's removal suite, or PNZ for their removal. So this might see play just because Shurima's a little weak in terms of damage-based removal, but I just feel like not hitting champions is gonna hold it back. And that's all for Kaisa support. Overall, Kaisa seems solid, very interesting champion. But I don't know, like, really, Supercharge. Supercharge is really what I'm scared of. Now, the other cards, though. We got a few more cards to talk about. Some of these are hard to evaluate, in my opinion, but first off, Wild Claw's Ferocity. Is this card good? I don't know. 6 mana focus speed spell. Transform an allied follower into an Alpha Wildclaw. Alpha Wild, I'm kind of surprised they didn't have Alpha Wildclaw as a related card here. That's why I like to use Runeterra AR for these, because they usually do that. Alpha Wildclaw, if you don't remember, is a 6 mana 7/6 Overwhelm unit. I've seen people going back and forth. I've seen people saying this card is trash and other people saying this card is great. I think the card is fine. I think the card is solid as a 1 or 2 of in Overwhelm decks, and that's it. There's some cute combos you can do, but I feel like this card is going to be just transforming Omen Hawks or something. You might say, like, well, it is focus speed, so your opponent can't interact with that. Sure, of course. But I also have a hard time evaluating this because I don't really play Overwhelm. I don't know, like, Freljord Overwhelm decks that well. I don't know how many flexible cards are in the Overwhelm deck. I don't know if they can fit in a 1 of Ferocity. Also, that's the other problem. Like, you kind of just need a unit to transform. Sure, you might say, like, oh, a Daring Portal from a Portal Cannon, a Flame Chomper, an Omen Hawk from early on. Sure, of course, I like that, but I don't know. I like the card. I feel like it might be a little clunky, but I think it will be a good, solid, strong 1 or 2 of. Also, like a lot of 6 mana and higher spells, we gotta talk about Pharaoh's Financier. Pretty solid hit from Pharaoh's Financier and Freljord. So I guess like Udyr PNZ, maybe? And you can transform, like, just transforming Pharaoh's Financier into a Wild Claw is actually pretty strong. So I think it's strong from Financier, and as for main decking the card, I could see it as a 1 of or even a 2 of in Overwhelm decks. Now this card. Trifarian Training Pit. 4 mana landmark. Each round, the first time an ally with 5+ power attacks, rally. So basically kind of like a scoutish kind of thing. First off, the initial thought I feel like a lot of people have when they see 5+ power thing is, oh wow, reputation, right? Reputation card, reputation landmark. Yes, of course, like maybe reputation can come back. Maybe like a LeBlanc Severe deck could play this. I don't think you should try to play reputation. I think we need less of this whole, like, I feel like this is the exact opposite problem elites are having, and elites have the problem of they have all these elites, but not enough elite payoff. Reputation has all this payoff, but not enough good 5+ power units. So I don't know if I would play this I don't think I would play pure reputation, but maybe Ash LeBlanc? Like, freezing things over and over and rallying seems pretty cute. But yeah, like, this curves really well with LeBlanc too. LeBlanc on 3, hits on 4, attack with the LeBlanc on 4, if you're attacking on evens, of course. So I kind of like that. That seems kind of cute. And then outside of reputation. How's this outside of reputation? Bannerman? Like 37 Demacia cards, maybe with Garen, and then you play this, like, turn 4 Training Pits, turn 5 Garen. You attack with Garen, rally, attack again with the rest of your board. Seems kind of cute. It is a little awkward, though, trying to play this in Bannerman, since they're both 4 mana cards. And I feel like you'd rather just be playing Golden Aegis anyway over this. Maybe Talia Malphite. Like, this is definitely not a card you copy with Talia. Like, Talia really doesn't want to copy this. It doesn't really do much if you copy it. But attacking with Malphite and then rallying, that's kind of cute, I guess. Like, you give Overwhelm to Malphite, or you buff up Talia with Absolver, and then you attack with Talia, getting her ability to proc, and then you rallied, so you attack in again, so you basically get 2 Talia procs. That seems pretty strong. So I definitely think this is going to be a card that kind of gets thrown to the wayside and forgotten, but I think there might be a little bit of power to it. with some creative deck building. Kind of like how Grey Apothecary is right now, where it's kind of been a forgotten card because it's a little too slow. I feel like that might be true of this card too. It's just a little too slow, but there's some really niche, powerful stuff you can do that's not just the intended, in my opinion, the intended way to build this card, which is just reputation. Now the next card. Oh, Lord Eldridge Mageseeker Elder. First off, more Lux and Tiana art here. I'm pretty sure this is actually the scene from Tiana's card where she's talking to Lux and Lord Eldridge is just spying, snooping, whatever you want to call it, eavesdropping. First off, I don't know if this has been shown in League lore, but apparently this guy is the husband of Tiana, and I don't know the lore well enough, but I think that means this is Garen's father? I'm not 100% certain, but people have told me this might be Garen's father, but I don't think so, but I'm not sure. Again, I don't know the lore, especially Garen's lore that well, because Garen's kind of boring. But the card itself, 8 mana, 8/8 with tough. Other allies and your Nexus have tough. I'm going to be honest with you, I think the card is trash. I really don't think this card is a good card. I think you should not play this card at all. I feel like this is going to be just an unplayable big epic card, kind of like Broodfather was in the last set. Also I'm pretty sure it's epic, also a big epic unplayable Demacian card. I've seen some people already on the Copium saying they think it's actually playable. They're like, wow, giving tough to everything is really strong. Yes, that is very true. They're like, tough Nexus is really good. Look at Lysandra. Leveled up Lysandra is great. Leveled up Lysandra is great because she does a billion things. Tough Nexus, tough herself, and you can say this guy's tough. Also 3 mana and a free ice shard every turn. That's why Lysandra's so good. This guy's 8 mana. That's a lot of mana to basically just be giving a Ranger's Resolve to your board until this guy gets removed. Sure, he is big, but I don't know. He's not elite too, so you can't even do the, well, he's elite, so elite synergy Copium. So I'm not a fan of this guy. The one saving grace I'll say is he is 8 mana. And that means 1, Tri-Beam. Tri-Beam likes to spend Tri-Beams for 8 mana because 8 mana has a lot of good stuff. And also, Concurrent Timelines. Concurrent Timelines having a very good card, which is Eldridge, to transform into is really nice because, you know, you play Ice Pillar. Ice Pillar transforms into a 8 mana card. And having Lord Eldridge be in the pool is just really nice for Ice Pillar to transform into. As for putting this card in your deck, I don't think you should put the card in your deck in any deck. I don't think any Demacia deck wants this card. I'd rather play Tiana herself over this, Captain Orica, etc., before I played Lord Eldridge, and those cards aren't even good themselves. Okay, only 3 more cards. I think 2 cards and a token, really. The card a lot of people have been waiting for, myself included. Yasuo's Boat, Windswept Hillock. 5 mana, it's actually also not even a unit. So it's a landmark. First landmark boat, I think. First card that draws a champion that's not a unit. 5 mana, landmark. When I'm summoned, draw Yasuo. And stun the strongest enemy. So it's got the Hexplosive Minefield summon. And then, when you gain the attack token, stun the strongest enemy. That's a fairly powerful ability. Here's the problem. It only happens when you gain the attack token. And I don't know. I like Yasuo. He's one of my favorite champions. Him getting a boat is really nice. I don't think this is going to save Yasuo and make Yasuo playable. Maybe Yasuo Katarina, perhaps, but I will say this. The nice thing about this is it gives you stuns over and over, which helps you level up Yasuo relatively quickly, which is nice, but I don't know. 5 mana is a lot of mana. At least you're not losing that much tempo because you are getting 1 stun right away. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it is nice. Also, another nice thing is it is Ionia, so you can go to whatever region you want for your secondary region, whether that's Noxus or Targon or Bandle City for your Yasuo deck. I'm thinking you probably want to be in Noxus right now if you want to build Yasuo, but I could see Targon for Leona and Daybreak. But yeah, I don't know. Yasuo has a lot of problems, but this definitely does help him and help cover one of those problems, which is not drawing Yasuo, not leveling up Yasuo because you just don't have enough stuns or recalls fast enough. So good card. It's still a Yasuo card though, so I want to be proven wrong. I want Yasuo to be a strong card and a strong deck, but I've spent so much copium on Yasuo. Anyway, the next card, our Targon card. I'll be honest with you, I love Targon. I don't like this card because it's not the style of Targon I like. Starhound pack, 4 mana, 2/5, faded. Okay, more faded. Ew, gross. My faded buffs are granted to allied Starhound packs everywhere. Okay, Legion Deserter. Sure, you like that. I mean, here 2 problems. It's slow. That's problem number 1. Number 2, it's just a lot of stats. I think it's been proven time and time again that lots and lots of stats without a keyword is just not cutting it in the game right now. You can already get big stats on one unit without a keyword. They even actually buffed a card like this, First Blade or whatever it's called, Vanguard First Blade, 4 mana 3/3 now, who when he attacks he gets +2/+2. That card could get really big really quick thanks to things like Cataclysms and Rallies, but it doesn't matter because he can just get chumped by like a 0/1. And you might say like, well, it technically has a keyword as faded, sure, but it doesn't have a keyword like fearsome, overwhelm, tough. I guess tough wouldn't do much, but lifesteal, etc., etc. You can argue, well, you're in Targon, you can play Zenith Blade. Don't play Zenith Blade in your decks anymore. Zenith Blade is dead now after the nerf. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. Maybe Pantheon, but again, I think Pantheon, at least in the current form, Pantheon Yuumi is dead, especially because of Noxus being so strong and Disintegrate being a thing. I think Pantheon's kind of just dead right now, which I'll be honest with you, I'm not really crying too much because I hate Pantheon. But yeah, I'm not seeing this card being a thing. You need more Starhound packs, so you're probably playing all 3. You need to find the other Starhound packs too. I doubt you're copying and cloning this card. That seems like that's definitely a funny meme, but I just don't think it's competitive viable. And our last card, I'm pretty sure this is actually a token. It doesn't have a gem on the bottom. Most cards, as you can see here, or not most, all cards that you can put in your deck have gems like these cards, and yet at the bottom of the card in the middle there is no gem. So I'm already predicting that this card will actually be created by Evelyn, because first off, I'm pretty sure all of these characters in the full art are the characters from Evelyn's follower art. And it just seems like a very Evelyn's thing to do. Lots of just mindless, soulless people. I don't know. So Evelyn is probably going to be a Runeterra champ. All of these cards, all the followers of hers as well seem to be in different locations in Runeterra. You got like a Noxus guy here, a Yordle, Bandle City, person wearing all this fur, so Freljord. I'm maybe a Vastaya over here, so Ionia. The guy in front, probably Demacia, etc., etc. Like this girl over here could be Bilgewater because of the tattoos and stuff. So yeah, I think most people are just saying Evelyn's probably going to be Runeterra champ. I don't know what her origin would be, but this card seems scary. 1 mana 0/1, can't attack or block, spell shield. When you play an ally, kill me to grant my stats and positive keywords. So basically, without any shenanigans, this is basically when you summon a unit, sacrifice me to give that unit +1 health and spell shield. Okay. Nasus. Who else likes this? Viego. Kaisa, actually. There's a lot of cards who like this. Everyone loves free spell shield, basically. So, yeah, pretty strong card, but we had to see how you get this card. Unless it's actually a card you can put in your deck and they just forgot to give it a collectible gem, in which case, good job, Riot. But that's it for all of the cards. Seems pretty good. Like, I like the design of some of these cards. I'm just really scared of Supercharge and Papercraft Dragon. I really hope they nerf Papercraft Dragon. I know we're not really going to get a balance patch. We don't normally get balance patches when new cards come out, but occasionally they'll nerf like 2 or 3 cards. I really hope they nerf Papercraft Dragon when they release all these cards, and maybe even a Bard nerf on top of that, or maybe even a Turbo Thralls nerf. But yeah, Supercharge with current Papercraft Dragon decks looks terrifying. But yeah, Kaisa seems cute. Kaisa seems strong. Really curious as to how to build Kaisa. There's a lot of ideas I've already been thinking of. I'd love to hear your opinion, though, on Kaisa and these cards, and Supercharge as well. Do you think I'm overreacting to Supercharge? What do you think of Evolve? Do you think Evolve seems interesting? Do you think it seems strong? And do you think Kaisa is good? And how would you build Kaisa right now? I think like Kaisa Lee Sin actually might be a thing right now. Eye of the Dragon, Dragonling giving Kaisa lifesteal seems pretty strong. But yeah, I like this. I like the champion. I think there are some fun ways. I like that she doesn't seem to be, at the moment, she doesn't seem to be hard paired with one champion. And even if she is, kind of like Annie is with Jhin, like Annie, I feel like she can go with a lot of different decks. Kaisa Pantheon, Kaisa Lee Sin, Kaisa even, what's his name? Udyr, maybe Kaisa Evelyn too. So that'll be fun to see. But for now, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you guys just enjoyed it in general, I'd love if you could leave a like or a comment down below in the comments section. Always helps me and the channel out. And if you guys want to keep up with the Legends of Runeterra content, you can always go and subscribe to the channel as well. Also, if you want to watch me play some Legends of Runeterra, you can go and check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zeneton, where I stream pretty much every single day. Anyway, though, with that all said and done, thank you all again once more for watching this video, and until I see you guys in the next one, bye!